everyone, if you're new here, I'm Brittany from She Run the World and I'm an American living in the UK. Today I'm talking about one of the best things about life across the pond, stuff that's free in the UK but costs money in the US. And I'm not just talking about a few discounts here or there, I'm talking about major life essentials that cost thousands in the US but are totally free or practically free in Britain. Some of these genuinely shocked me when I moved here, so let's dive in. Let's start off with probably the biggest and most controversial one, healthcare. Now, let me start by saying something that I'm going to say in a few different points in this video. I hope everybody knows that when things are advertised as completely free, that's not necessarily true. Nothing is ever 100% free in life. The National Health Service, or NHS, is covered by your NI tax here in the UK, which is honestly crazy expensive. I personally have a pretty low salary, especially by American standards, and my NI tax is £200 a month. So please keep this in mind before I continue on with this point. So no, it's not completely free. You are paying for it to a certain extent, but what is free, if you want to call it that, or I guess what's included in that tax, is literally everything. Doctor visits, emergency care, hospital stays, surgeries, maternity care, ambulance rides, and pretty much everything in between. They're all free at point of use, meaning no surprise bills, no hidden fees, no need to argue with an insurance company over what's covered versus what's not. So think of your NI tax as you paying your monthly insurance payment in the States, but then after that you never have to pay for anything again, because for those of you who don't know, you pay a monthly cost just to have health insurance in the States, and then on top of that you always typically have to pay a copay every time you go to a doctor's appointment or trip to the hospital, something like that. Plus you'll get additional bills based on what you had done. So if you had a baby, if you had surgery, you got x-rays, whatever it may be, you typically have to pay a certain amount and meet your deductible before the insurance even kicks in and starts to cover costs. And then even then it's not usually fully covered depending on your insurance. So when you take all of that in mind, it is really nice to just pay that monthly NI tax here in the UK and then know that you'll never have to pay for anything medically related again. Like me, for example, I just had a baby and I didn't pay anything extra compared to if I didn't have a baby. It's just the same monthly tax, no additional bills. I mean, don't get me wrong, the NHS is far from perfect. Sometimes the quality of service is pretty bad and wait times can be an issue, definitely, if you're trying to get something done ASAP. But the security of knowing a health emergency won't bankrupt you really is a relief, and I didn't really appreciate that until I moved here. This next point kind of goes hand in hand with that first point of the NHS, prescriptions. These are a huge expense in the US, even with health insurance, like I kind of mentioned. Unless you have amazing insurance, you typically always have to pay expensive copays, or you have to deal with insurance denials, or just straight up inflated prices for those brand name medications. Some people even have to skip a dose or delay refills because of the cost, which honestly is just so sad when you're dealing with a chronic condition where you really need these meds. But in the UK, the system is really simple and accessible. If you live in Wales, Scotland, or Northern Ireland, prescriptions are totally free. In England, there's a flat fee per item of £9.90 as of 2025, no matter what the medication is that you need. So that's right, whether it's a basic antibiotic or something more specialized, you won't pay more than £9.90. And if you need multiple prescriptions, you can purchase a prepayment certificate that reduces costs even further. This structure makes sure that no one has to choose between their health and their wallet. So that peace of mind of knowing that your medication is always going to be affordable is pretty priceless. Next, we have another big cost, university tuition. In the US, even public universities can cost tens of thousands of dollars per year, and private ones are insane. Trust me, I should know. I think the tuition for my private school was about $65,000 a year. That's without housing or food, like just straight up tuition. So a 4-year degree in the States can easily leave you with, $100,000 or even way more in student loans. But in Scotland, if you're Scottish, your university tuition is completely free at public institutions. It's part of a long-standing commitment to accessible education. But again, take this with a grain of salt. It's not just 100% free. It has to be paid somehow, right? So tuition is paid for through taxes. So basically, everyone in Scotland is paying for your tuition essentially, rather than you just paying for it out of your own pocket like we do in the States. But obviously, in general, the total tuition cost is significantly lower than what it would be in the US anyways. Like in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland, for example, the other counterparts of the UK, for those of you who don't know, university isn't free, but it's still significantly more affordable than in the US. The maximum tuition fee in England is currently £9,250 per year, and student loans don't have to be repaid until you're earning over a certain threshold. Plus, after 30 to 40 years, the remaining debt is usually just written off completely. So compared to American interest rates and aggressive repayment schedules, the UK system offers students a much less stressful financial future. Sticking with the finance theme, let's talk about bank accounts. I know this doesn't apply to all bank accounts, but a lot of times in the US, opening up a basic checking account can come with monthly maintenance fees, minimum balance requirements, overdraft charges, which are the worst, and even ATM usage fees if you do stray from your bank's network. These hidden costs really add up over time, especially if you're not keeping a close eye on your balance. But in the UK, most standard current accounts are completely free to open and use. There are no monthly maintenance fees or minimum balance requirements, and you usually don't get penalized for accessing your own money through any ATM. Many accounts offer contactless debit cards, mobile banking apps, and some even come with perks like cashback or travel insurance. This approach to banking feels much more customer friendly, and honestly, it was one of the first things that made me feel like I was truly settling in. It blew my mind that you could just go to any ATM anywhere and just get cash out and there's going to be no fee. Super crazy. The next one is museums. This one still makes me smile because in the US, visiting a major museum could easily cost you $20 to $40 per person, sometimes even more if there's a special exhibition going on. That means that a little afternoon outing just to go to a museum can quickly turn into an expensive activity, but in the UK, nearly all of the country's top museums are completely free. We're talking about the British Museum, Natural History Museum, Tate Modern, National Gallery, Victoria and Albert, and just so much more. These world-class institutions are open to the public without a ticket fee, making art, science, and history accessible to everyone. Of course, donations are welcome and appreciated, but there's no pressure or paywall kind of stopping you at the door from entering. So whether you're a local looking for a weekend activity or a tourist hoping to soak in all the culture without breaking the bank, UK museums deliver big time and they do it for free, which is amazing. The next one is national parks and nature access. Now this one I love because I'm a huge outdoorsy person. I love hiking, I love camping, I love visiting national parks. And in the US, visiting national parks always involves an entrance fee, sometimes even parking passes and reservation systems. I totally understand that these fees help the maintenance of the park, but they can also create barriers for families and individuals who just want to spend more time in nature but can't really afford it. But in the UK, it works very differently. All national parks are free to enter, and the UK has this beautiful principle known as the right to roam. That basically just means that people can legally walk across certain private lands, including moors, hills, and farmland, as long as they respect the space and follow local guidelines. Public footpaths are clearly marked and incredibly well maintained, encouraging people to explore the countryside. You don't need a car or a permit, just a pair of boots and a bit of curiosity. This open access approach makes nature feel like it's a shared treasure rather than a luxury. It invites everyone to enjoy the outdoors without the price tag or the red tape. Here's an amazing one for expecting parents. If you're pregnant or have had a baby in the last year, you get free dental care and free prescriptions on the NHS. Yep. Completely free. That includes everything from routine checkups to fillings and other necessary treatments, plus any medications you may need during your pregnancy or postpartum recovery. You simply apply for a maternity exemption certificate and it covers you for your entire pregnancy, plus 12 months after your baby is born. In the US, even decent insurance, maternity-related costs can pile up really fast, especially dental that comes with high copays. Surprise, surprise. The UK's approach makes sure that you're not just delaying your care because you're worried about money, because of course you should be always taking care of yourself no matter what, but even more so when you're pregnant and you have another life to think about. It might sound like a small thing, but for new parents or pregnant women who are already going through such a stressful time, it really is a huge relief and one less bill that you have to worry about. To continue with the theme of family support, let's talk about childcare hours and benefits. Childcare is one of the most expensive costs for families in the US. Like, a lot of times sometimes it's so expensive that people have to decide whether one parent should stay home because that second salary is barely covering the childcare costs, so kind of what's the point? But in the UK, the government provides structured, accessible support to help ease that burden. Many families with 3 or 4-year-olds are eligible for up to 30 hours of free childcare per week during term time. Some 2-year-olds even qualify. It just depends on your household income and some specific criteria. That's not just a few hours off. That's a real chunk of support that can allow parents to work, study, or honestly, just catch your breath. Relax a little bit. And on top of that, most families can claim child benefit, a monthly payment per child that helps with everyday expenses. It's honestly not massive. It's only £25 a week, but you know, every little bit counts. They literally just direct deposit that into your account every month. And on top of all of that, many local boroughs offer free child health clinics. These are drop-in sessions where parents can have their baby weighed, ask questions to a health visitor, or attend parenting workshops. Classes like infant CPR, baby-led weaning, and labor and delivery prep are some of the pretty common ones across boroughs. And of course, all of these classes are free. There are also feeding and sleep specialists available with anyone who wants to meet with them for breastfeeding help or infant sleep help. This kind of hands-on community-based support goes far beyond what most American families have access to, and it's all free. Again, that's covered in your council tax for the borough that you live in, but again, you're going to be paying that council tax regardless whether you're using any of these services or not. So when you use them, you're not paying anything out of your pocket, and it's a nice perk. One of the most heartwarming benefits I discovered is the UK's free bus pass for seniors. Once you reach a retirement age, so 60 in some places, 66 in others, you can apply for a bus pass that gives you unlimited local travel. In London, it's known as the Freedom Pass, and similar programs exist all over the UK. This means older adults can get around for free, whether they're heading to the shops, visiting family, or just going out for a walk in the park. In the US, senior discounts might give you, 10, 20% off a ticket, but full-on free transit is almost unheard of. Not that many people even take public transportation to begin with in the States, but still. This benefit promotes independence, reduces isolation, and helps seniors stay active in their community, which I just love so much. I think it's so sweet. So there you have it. Some of the amazing things that are free in the UK but would cost a fortune in the US. Again, like I said in the beginning of the video, nothing in life is ever 100% free. Most of these things are paid for by British taxes, but moving here has definitely opened my eyes to how different countries handle healthcare, education, and even the simple joy of going out into nature. So let me know in the comments, what free thing in the UK would you love to see adopted in your country? I can't wait to read your choice. Now let's take a look at 10 free things you can do in London so you can enjoy your time in this magical city without breaking the bank.